All right, we ready to go then. You good?
I'm good.
All right.
Showtime at the Apollo.
Let's get it. All right, man. Welcome back for another episode on Stats Global Podcast, man. I'm your host, Coach T. I'm excited for this episode right here, man. I'm sitting right here with my good friend, colleague, everything. Been doing some amazing things. We from the same hometown, all that good stuff, man. But I'm not going to tell you. I'm going to let him tell you himself who he is, what he does, and all that good stuff, man. So without further ado.
Showtime at the Apollo.
Hey.
What's up? It's your boy, Tony, from Danville, Virginia. You know, most people know I'm in the military. Been in the military for about 9 years now, going on 10. You know, I'm ready. You know, I'm ready to spit some of this knowledge out. Get to catch it up with my dog. Ready to do it up.
Oh, yeah. Man, 9 years? I did not realize that.
Yeah, time go by fast.
Man, wow. We have a lot of good stuff to talk about, man. We can start anywhere.
Oh, yeah.
But let's go ahead and start with this military piece then. I mean, how did you even get involved or get enlisted? Like, what was the decision to actually go into the military?
So it happened right after high school.
Mm-hmm.
I graduated, and you know, when you playing football, you know, you like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do this after high school and things. And I got to a point in my senior year, I'm like, it's all right, but you know, what's another plan that I can do?
Yeah.
And my mother, she came to me, she was like, you know, have you thought about the service? And I know you like working out. You thought about the service? And I was like, no, I never thought about it. So I went down to the mall, went down to the Army Center, and I took the test. And then I was like, okay, you know, we got to talking, and he was like, you know, you want to go active duty or you want to go reserve? And I was like, well, I mean, I want to go active. You know, I ain't got nothing, you know, to leave behind or anything.
Yeah.
And then, you know, that process was like about 2-3 months. Then I took the test, passed it, picked my job, and that week before I, you know, came in and did my official signed papers and swore in and everything, I went to go see my buddy at Virginia State. I went to go see my buddy Shamar Jackson at Virginia State. And I never thought about college.
Yeah.
Never thought about it. You know, I went up there and just say I got really persuaded
Oh,
to
not
go to college
and,
and pursue,
okay.
you know, my educational path. And yeah, that's really how the military really got started. And I've been rolling with the punches ever since.
Okay, so you said you were going to go active. So instead of going active, you went to college first and then went to the military? You went to the military and then college?
So you can go active or you can go reserve.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the reserve, you can go in. You want to go to college, they pay for your college. They give you a good stipend every month.
Mm-hmm.
You know, give you good benefits. And then, but you'll still be working once a month.
Okay.
2 weeks or 3 weeks out the year.
Okay.
So I did that for the whole 4 years that I was in college. You know, I graduated during COVID.
Okay.
And when I got back, you know, I was just like, you know, all right, what's next? You know, what else can I do? You know, and
yeah,
I ended up picking up this accounting job in D.C. and you know, that was a learning experience.
Okay. I think that's around the time. Right after that is when I met you. Right after that accounting job. Okay.
Yeah.
Experience. So was it the company? Was it the actual like job? Because I know what your degree at State was in what?
It was in accounting.
Okay.
And
that's tough.
They reached out to me, and you know, they offered me. I had like 3 offers from up there in the area. But I picked Castro and Company and went along with it. And it wasn't really the experience. It was pretty much adjusting to that type of being in that type of environment.
Yes.
And I was virtual the whole time because it was, you know, me at COVID. Like, you know, in COVID, you know, the virtual jobs, they lasted for a little minute.
Oh, yeah.
But then it got to a point where they wanted me to move up to D.C. And I'm like, I just bought my house in the city. You know, it ain't no, you know, y'all didn't never tell me. You know, they should have told me, you know, 6 months to a year out, you know.
Yeah.
But they told me like a month ahead. And I'm like, okay, well, I already told y'all there's no way I can do it.
Yeah.
You know? So I ended up leaving that job, and 2 months later, I came home.
Came
home, and it's been good ever since.
It's
Very
been
humbling
good, man.
experience. Yeah.
It's been great. So I think we met during COVID. We're in the basketball gym. Like the basketball gym, if you don't understand, like basketball was like my first love, right? I did basketball, and it has put me in a room in places with so many amazing people that you just don't understand. As a young person, I didn't realize what it was going to do for me in my life, right? So I started playing. I loved it, kept on going. But then at the point, we know it was going to stop. I was very in the books. Like I was that student athlete for sure. So I knew at some point basketball was going to stop and I was going to get into my career. However, I did not know that it would allow me the opportunity to meet so many great people, man. Like everything that has transpired from the time I graduated college up until now has been from a basketball court, basketball gym, coaching some form of basketball, man. And it's crazy. Like I think everybody that I'm talking to interview wise, but maybe with the exception of a few people, it's been through basketball. It's been through basketball, man. So it's wild, man. So if you are watching this and you are a young person, or if you have any kids in sports, like it will take them places. It will allow them opportunities if they take full advantage of it. Just a real quick though. I mean, it does take work. It takes time, and it takes you being a great person. Because I will say I'm a great person. I know I am because my reputation will speak for itself. Definitely. I maintain relationships. I build relationships with people. And, that's why we're sitting here right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, I met this guy during COVID in a basketball gym through a mutual friend because of a opportunity with basketball, semi-pro team, if I'm not mistaken. Yep. And we connected since then. I like to get numbers and contacts and information and stuff like that. Stay connected. And then fast forward, maybe 2 years later, we're working at the same place. We're working at the same job. So it got even better from there, man. It was even better from there. So I mean, it's crazy. So man.
And like you said, I want to tap in on that point when you was like, you want to tell all the parents and everything to get their kids in sports and everything. The social effects of it. Yes. Yes. It's like I don't think some parents don't see the social effects of it. Mm-hmm. It's like, when they play sports, you got teammates. Some of those teammates become friends for a long time. Yes. For a lifelong span, know, and with that, you network, you keep in touch, and it's just like a positive, a trickling effect. Oh yeah. So that was definitely, I liked it.
You're definitely right about that social thing because I was an only child and I did not have a lot of social skills being by myself. Yeah. And not really, I don't know whether you're into the horoscope thing or not, but as a Virgo and an only child, it was just like a double. What do you call it? I'm not going to say seclusion, but I mean, it was just more of a keep to myself type of deal. Yeah. So playing basketball allowed me the opportunity to be around other people. Around the time, I called them sisters and teammates and things like that where we had close relationships, close bonds. Some of them still to this day. Yep. My assistant coach at GW, Sierra, we've been playing basketball together since the City League here in Danville. And now we have opportunity to coach together at our alma mater. It's crazy. Yeah. So, but again, we're here to talk about Coach White over here, man. T. White, man. But I mean, it's amazing. Like when you look at this, like 2016. So that's put you at what, 25?
Yep.
25, man. 25 years old, man. Amazing, coming out of the city of Danville, which is pretty rough city to grow up in. I think any small city is tough to grow up in. So, I mean, it's really not a lot of opportunities here. So, to be somebody who makes it out and does something and makes something of yourself is amazing. As a young man, a lot of our, young people don't normally see that. And they don't know, what I'm saying? Like, even in the school with us working, they still are not able to recognize and see the people that they're around, that they have access to in that moment because it won't last forever. Yeah. Unfortunately. It won't last forever, man. We will not always be there.
Unfortunately, it's just how it goes. And that's just how life is.
It's crazy. So you went to GW, right?
Went to GW.
Both of us went to GW, played sports.
Yep.
Played sports. So you played football.
Yep.
What was that like playing
I played football. I did tennis for a little bit until I got into it and got put off the team. Yeah, but football was my main thing. I played football all the way up since City League, middle school, all the way up. Yeah, that was my thing.
Nice. Yeah. Did you ever have any aspirations of going pro?
So at one point I did. I say like around 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade in that phase. But then I was like, well, darn, all these other football players, they tall. I'm sure I ain't never gonna. I ain't gonna never go and grow. So then, it's just it started trickling down, you know. But I loved the sport, you know. So it was just like I just like to, you know, I like the football. I like to hit somebody.
Yeah.
I like to, you know, shut somebody down. I like talking junk. I like to compete, you know. So that was the thing that kept me in it. And my senior year was like really my best year. Like, I ain't even noticed. You know, I had coaches reaching out to me, and I'm just like, no, you know, I don't think I can do it. You know,
What?
I don't think
you
I can
turned
do
down
it.
college offers?
Yeah. I had I went Bluefield. I talked to a coach. I talked to a coach at Avery. And I think that's about it. When I was at Virginia State, I did a walk-on.
Nice.
Me and my cousin Devin, we did walk-ons, and we both made it.
Nice.
But I was like, we did it for like 2 weeks, and I was like, man, I don't think I can do this, you know, because I had that military stuff going on. So it was
yeah.
It was like, okay, you know, you got to balance something.
Yeah.
So I was like, all right, then I think I'm gonna just let it go and just focus on what's next. So yeah, football was my thing.
Nice, man. That's amazing. So where did Shamad come in with that? Because I know he was the reason why you got to state. Was that y'all played football together?
Yes.
At school?
Yeah. So me and SJ Shamad, we met. I was walking. I was walking up my hill, going home after playing at Johnson, playing basketball with some friends. And I was walking, and somebody was beeping the horn at me. I had my headphones in, you know, beeping the horn at me. Like, move out the way. And I'm like, hey, forget you. You know what I'm saying? So then a week later, we end up seeing each other at football practice. And I was like, was that you that was beeping that horn at me? And he was like, I was wondering who that short dude was cussing like that. I'm like, yeah, that was me. And literally ever since then, that moment right there, we became the best of friends. And when I went to college, I went up there to visit him because he was there for a year. He was there for a year, and he was like, just come up and, you know, visit and see how things is. And I was like, all right. And I went up there, and I went up there. It was 3 days. That's all it took for me. It was 3 days. And I was just seeing, you know, how he was maneuvering, you know, going to class, getting things done, but also having his social life, you know, doing all these extracurricular activities, you know, playing basketball at the park, you know, going to go to the Cavs, you know, sitting with people that we never met before, D.C., you know, New York, Vegas, Florida. It's just like, darn, like this is very nice. I think I can go to college, you know. I figure it out, and that's exactly what I did. And I say college was the best.
What
time of my life? You know?
Although you didn't choose the best, Virginia Union graduate over here.
Here we go.
You went to state. Although you went to an HBCU, and it was great, man. State, I love it, man. Shout out to Virginia State, man.
Shout out Union. Shout out Union.
Hey. All the HBCUs, man.
I was
college
up there
in general,
a couple
man.
times.
Yeah.
I was up there a couple times.
Oh yeah, man. Like, man, listen, college was my best experience as well. Like, I mean, I at one point I was going to transfer from Union because I wanted to get a full experience. Everybody at State was like, "Yo, we having so much fun. We doing this, we doing that," and I was like, man. But as I look back, I'm glad I did not, and I made the full. You know, I made my 4 years at Union what it is, and I would not take that back for anything. I wouldn't go to any other HBCU or any other college, even though you got on the school I wanted to go to. I did want to go to Carolina. I've been a Carolina fan forever. Wanted to go to Carolina. I still would not take back my experience and my decision to go to Virginia Union because it has, like I said, afforded me so many different opportunities and experiences that I would not get anywhere else. Like, but I mean, it shows that you can get through adversity because I mean, it wasn't my top choice. It wasn't the, you know what I'm saying? Like, some people may say it wasn't the best choice, but I mean, it was the best choice for me.
For you, exactly.
Like, I was able to survive and make it through, and then to see that the college has, you know, the university has gotten better since then, and you know, they've invested a whole lot of money in both schools. They've both gotten a whole lot better since both of us graduated. I mean, 2009 for me and 2020 for you, right? I mean, it still has gotten better, and they continue to keep getting better year after year after year, and it's amazing, man. Like, it's just amazing. It's crazy.
Yeah, I tell you, I love seeing it. You know, I was up there when I was at Fort Lee for my course I just got back from, and my buddy that I met at the course, I took him. I was like, "Look, yo, you got to come see my college, man. Like, they've been, you know, it's nice, just building up." Went by there, and I was just, when we was riding, I was, you know, showing them all the buildings and everything, and I'm like, "Yo, like, they really, like, every time I come here, it's just up, and I love to see it.
I
love to see it.
Oh yeah, and I brought up SJ Shamad because of the simple fact that, again, like, being around great people leads to great things. So that shows that he was a great person, and his character and everything else. That from football field to college. Hey, come visit me in college, and then you went to college and you started doing that, and when that wasn't even an option. So I mean, the people that you're around, that matters. You know what I'm saying? The type of friends that you have, they matter.
Yes.
Because that could have been the opposite. Like, he could have been like, nah, man, forget college. I ain't doing it, man. The military, what? Get up. And you would have probably like, you know what, man? You right now. I ain't going to. I'm gonna stay around. So whoever you're around is gonna, influence what you're doing. So you had a great influence of, the type of people that you're around. I'm pretty sure you had more great friends.
Oh yeah.
But with SJ, I met him the same way I met you. I don't know if it was the same day in the gym through basketball. But fast forward to, recently today, he was referred to come to me to coach with me during softball season. So I mean, like, last season during softball, he was helping me out. To now, like, again, the relationship that we had, when I stepped down from the position, I recommended him to be the next head coach, and guess who's the head coach of the softball team? GW football head varsity girls softball coach, man. Like, great person. He also teaches as well. You know what I'm saying? We're also all in that same field, so it's just amazing how that works, relationships and your network, man. It's crazy.
And
it's crazy.
It's crazy how you say that, because I was just literally telling my soldiers, positive is contagious.
Yes.
The same way negative is contagious. Mm-hmm. But one of them spreads fast.
Yes.
And that negative, it spreads fast. So if you separate yourself with, negative people, it's going to trickle down. Mm-hmm. But if you be around positive people, positive spirit people, people just happy and genuine.
Yes.
It's going to spread, and next thing you know, you're going to be doing things in your life that you never thought you would do.
Oh yeah.
But it's just off the simple fact, but it's just like, you seeing it from different levels, and it's like, okay, well, I can try this. I can, do this, and boom, boom, boom. Next thing you know, everything is always good.
Oh yeah. For sure. So we know you went to the military. You went to, one of the best HBCUs out here, right?
Oh yeah.
Just looking at you and your character since I met you, I could have said, hey, a lot of that was shaped for the military, but I feel like most of that came prior to. So, like I said, seeing where we grew up, going to GW from 16 to 2020, also graduating during COVID, right?
Yeah.
Oh, you graduated high school in 16.
You graduated high school in 16, and I graduated at the end of COVID.
Yep. So, like, in this area, like, we're looking at a lot of, the young people that lack things. But like I said, I see that you seem like a pretty well-rounded person. So, like, what was that like for you growing up here in Danville? Like, how were you able to, like, establish those morals, principles, and the character that you have? Like, where did that come from?
So, my mother.
Nice.
My grandmothers. And honestly, because I used to be off the rails a little bit, but between my mother and my grandmother keeping me in check, telling me right from wrong, and then also, like, football, like, coaches, and that's why, the profession of coaching is so much more,
Yes.
For coaches, some coaches, they just think you're gonna be in it just to do it. No, it's like you way more than just a coach. You gotta, and it's like your players, they see you as much more once you get to that, that comfortability, that vulnerability of it. And it's like that's what really shaped me, because it was like, they telling me, hey, make sure you stay out the streets. You know what I'm saying? Don't be doing all this negative stuff. Just be a kid, live life, be happy, but right from wrong. Just don't be getting into all that, negative stuff. And that's really what, shaped me and kept me going,
That's dope, man. That's dope. So you say you used to be off the rails, which, I'm not going to say I can see it, but I mean, I can see that. I mean, it's just like you don't take no stuff, right? So how does that look? Like, looking back now, being that kid that used to be kind of off the rails and kind of got it together, like, what does that look like? What kind of advice would you give to that young person now that's kind of like, just like you said, you use the term off the rail. Not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, because off the rail can mean anything. But, like, from that kid that's been off the rail to now, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, being that stand-up person that you are now, like, what kind of advice would you give to that person? Like, if you can tell yourself something now about that kid now, like, what would you say?
Be your own person. Be your own person. Don't take everything personal, because everything is not personal. You got to have some type of peace in every situation.
Yes.
You got to be positive in their situation, no matter what the outcome is. And just go from there. everything don't need no reaction.
Yes.
And
yes.
that's the type of person I used to be. I used to be that type of person. I was a fiery person, you know. Still am to this day, but it's more so under control now.
Yes,
You know, I'm
sure.
more professional about it, you know. But I will jump back to that side, you know.
Yeah.
But, you know,
Okay.
I try to keep it, you know, very professional. But, you know, I say what I got to say. You know, I think that's the best you can be as a person.
Yeah.
You know, you speak your truth. You speak your honesty, and you be, you know, straightforward about things instead of beating around the bush, so there's no confusion about anything.
Oh yeah.
So, and my advice to the young generation now, the young men coming up, like I said, for one, don't take everything so personal, because it's so fast for us to take everything so personal, and then we got this pride thing that we got as, you know, as boys going into men. You know, just don't take everything so personal. You know, be patient, be at peace, and, you know, whatever you're going to do, put your mind to it. Just go ahead and do it. You know, if you're going to dream big, go on and dream big. Just know 9 out of 10, you're going to fail in some areas, but what's a dream without failing? You know, and just keep going. Don't ever stop. Keep going. Whatever it is, just keep going.
Oh yeah,
That's
most
my
definitely.
advice.
That's powerful. That's powerful right there. I mean, and again, it speaks for itself. I mean, you are doing some amazing things, which you're gonna get into. Like the military has taken you so far. The the success that you've had with that, and just in life in general, has definitely taken you places. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Guaranteed.
The environment that we're in, right? We're teaching high
Yep.
schools. This time now, social media is big. And I think me and you both see a lot of reactions, like you said, a lot of reactive behavior.
Yes.
And we also see a lot of lack of communication skills, or
social
not lack of
skills.
communication, but we see a lot of communication skills that are not, you know,
Yep.
they're not there. They're not like kind of where they should be. And for me, I'm not gonna say I had it good and best my whole life.
Yeah.
But I didn't struggle with those because I feel like I had a very strong foundation of structure where, you know, I was always told to speak properly, to communicate, to look in somebody's eyes, to have like that's what I already knew. But little did I know, and not everybody was being told that.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that this is a norm. Like everybody knows this. This is something that's already going on. But if it's not being told to you and ingrained in your head daily, every day, all the time, like this is a standard, then it's not going to become a part of who you are.
A norm. Yep. You're
So
exactly
then
right.
I'm in sports, you know. So Bodine, you know, I'll speak about
Oh,
Bodine
yeah.
all the time.
Bodine.
Discipline,
Shout out
structure.
Bodine.
Man.
Shout out to Bodine. God, I love Bodine.
Yo.
Man.
Love him,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Love him. I was
I'm
able to,
telling
you know, he helped me at Union as well. He helped me get there. So I mean, it's great person. You know, again, back to basketball, taking you places.
Yep.
The people that you're around, but being around him from the time I started playing all the way up to college, you know what I'm saying, the discipline, the structure, you know what I'm saying, to get it together, you know what I'm saying, not being not getting in your feelings. Like, look, suck it up and keep on going. Like, you have to. So all that transpires. So now when I'm in the professional world, now that I'm done playing basketball, and then I'm even coaching, I was able to take those same principles from my coaches and do the same thing, as well as put my own stuff into it. But not only that, know how to communicate, know how to build relationships, know how to be professional, because being professional does not mean having manners. Being professional means that if me and you don't like each other, we can still work together and nobody would know that it's nothing going on. I don't have to talk about you. I don't have to be disrespectful to you to work with you and I don't like you, because we have the same job. Being professional is doing that. Being able to work in the same space with somebody that you don't necessarily care for and still keep, because bills have to be paid. You know what I'm saying? If that's the route that you're taking. It's no, I don't like you. I don't like the manager. Who you talking to like that? You're not talking to me like that, man. I quit. Now you sit up here not able to pay your bills because somebody said something to you the wrong way. Does that make sense? Somebody said something to you the wrong way. You react. You quit your job. Now you can't pay your bills because they said something to you that you don't like.
Said something to you. You got in your feelings. Now look, you thinking temporary. You won't even thinking future wise.
Exactly.
You reacted off that. Now guess what? You got your job. You know that's why you gotta be patient. You can't react to everything.
Be
Just
patient. Not react. Might not been the right way that the leader was doing. Leadership is also something that's big that has to be taught. However, the leader's not doing it right. Cool. You know, as a person that's not in a leadership position, like if I'm that person, I'm being spoken to like that, that moment may not be the right time. I'm not going to react and be patient. Boom. Let me come back. Hey, you know, Mr. So-and-so, Miss So-and-so, hey, can we have a conversation? I'm not, you know, I'm not okay with the way you spoke to me yesterday or whenever that was about so-and-so. You know, let's keep it professional.
Yep.
And speak to me, you know what I'm saying, with respect. I come with you with respect. I expect the same thing in return. That's having a conversation. Not, yo, man, you ain't gonna talk to me like that.
Yep.
I said it in the tone, and I said it in the words that I would speak to that person. Hey, Mr. So-and-so, I don't like the way you spoke to me the other day. I would like you to speak to me with respect. This is a professional setting.
Yes.
X, Y, and Z, whatever the case may be. I mean, you can go, but the tone that I used and the words that I was using was not aggressive. It wasn't disrespectful, and I wasn't coming off the way they came at me. I'm not going to meet fire with fire.
That's right.
I'm not going to meet fire with fire. I'm going to address the situation because it's going to bother me if I don't.
Yep.
I'm going to be professional about it,
Yep.
and it should be a different outcome. And if it's not a different outcome, then that leader needs to be removed from that position.
Exactly.
And if you know your paperwork, if you know the way the job works, there's no retaliation. If they don't respond to that conversation because you handle it the way you should have, then you go above their heads and go to the next person. There's nothing wrong with that. And if they retaliate, then you have to show that. Oh, they retaliate because of X, Y, and Z, and I spoke to you about the situation, and then they lose their job. Not that you're trying to get somebody to lose their job, but if they don't do right, then that's just the consequences of not doing right.
And, I'm glad you brought up the leadership aspect because there's leaders in this world.
Yes.
They just in the position just because they met certain requirements. Then you got some leaders who was in those positions because they really are great leaders.
Yes.
And when you said, about that communication, clear communication for a leader is the best thing a leader can be, for one. And it's not about, how the leader can, just communicating, hey, do this, and third. It's about active listening as well.
Yes,
sure. When I was back at Fort Lee, we went over this leadership requirements model. Mm-hmm. You got do, you got be, and then you got know. Mm-hmm. In the do, you got character, you got presence. Mm-hmm. That's in the do. In the know, you got the intellect, the experience. And then that's in the be. In the know, that's when you get the results.
Yes.
That's when it's like the positivity, the tranquility effect.
Yep.
Because as a leader, you don't want to be that leader that doesn't promote growth. Mm-hmm. Every leader should be in the world to promote growth.
Oh, yeah.
Nothing stays the same. Don't nobody want to stay in the same position. Everybody want to grow. At least some people should be able to want to do that, I understand those who want to be stagnant. That's cool, But I know of some people who just want to, grow. And as a leader, you are in that position to help them grow. Mm-hmm. And I hate it on that.
Oh no. Leadership is everything, man. I love leadership. I love talking about it. I love being in a position of leadership and talking about it because if you think about it, leadership is like one of those key positions where everybody comes in contact with that. Like if you're on a job, your supervisor is the leader. Yep. You know what I'm saying? It's a title. However, that person is a leader. Your boss is a leader, the CEO, whatever. You're around those type of people that can shape, that can make a break. If you are playing a sport, your coach is a leader, whether it's college, high school, AAU, like whatever level, pro, like that person is a leader. And we are around leaders in every aspect of our lives. Even our parents are leaders. Yep. Mm-hmm. However, parenting is a whole other concept. Yep. But in the professional world, there's a lot of leaders that everybody's going to come in contact with, and that can make or break the route that somebody takes. You know what I'm saying? A young man going to a job and being talked to crazy can deter them from them trying to get on the right path to going back to the streets. They get off the streets, they get into a job, and they're being treated unfairly where it wasn't bad on the street. It just wasn't a good route. That's not the right thing to do. So they try to do the right thing, and they get deterred by bad leadership. Mm-hmm. Just being spoken to crazy or being treated unfairly because of bad leadership, and now they're back on the streets, and now it turns into something even worse than what it already was, what they were trying to prevent. You know what I'm saying? Or just a good person turning bad because of bad leadership. You know what I'm saying? So leadership is really, really, really important. And if you're going to be in that position, don't be in that position for the title. Be in a position for the position, like to provide, make an impact on the people that you're around. And like you said, positivity, communication, like teach. Like if you're in that position, it may provide you more money. Yep. You may have put in the work. You may have been in that job for 20 plus years, so you deserve it. Or you may have been in a position longer, so you have seniority. Yep. However, take that part of it. Like, okay, I get more money. I earned it. Boom. That's one part. That's 50%. The other 50% is impact. Yes. Now, what are you doing to the other people? How are you going to provide more, not provide, how are you going to create more leaders like yourself? How are you going to have 10 more employees be there for 5+ years? How are you going to have 10 more employees be able to get promoted because of what they're doing? Like, I mean, that's the whole part of leadership. Like, you have to be able to provide those basic skills.
You got to. And I want to hit on that because I got to say this. So in 2000, okay.
Check the camera. Turn, hit it, stop it. Start it. Good. Let's get it, man. You want to hit on that leadership.
So when you were just talking about leadership, the impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in 2022, my contract was ready to end.
Mm-hmm.
And, I was like, I'm going to get out, you know what I'm saying? I don't, it's all right, I don't know, you know what I'm saying? But I think I'm going to get out and I'm going to just try another different route. A year before my contract had ended, I had a new commander come in and I had a new training NCO come in, Sergeant K and Lieutenant Owens, who now's a captain now. Shout out to both of them. They already know. I talk to them almost like every other week,
Yeah.
because they didn't, transfer it out.
Mm-hmm.
But like you said, the impact of a leader can really jeopardize what's going on in the future, right?
Yes.
So, they came in, and not only did they come in on the empathetic side, because they seen the type of dude I was.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, oh, you shouldn't get out. You know what I'm saying? I was like, no, I'm getting out, y'all. And I was telling them this literally all the way up until that 11th month when I was in that conversation of, okay, is you going to extend? Is you going to re-sign up the contract?
Yeah.
And during that time, building up to that, they was literally, showing me different things, showing me how to be a good leader, putting me in positions of where I'm the leader, and it's like, okay, you did this right. Mm-hmm. Okay, but this right here, let's work on this area.
Nice.
And it's the feedback.
Yes. Yes.
It shows, as a leader, it shows, the value and respect you got for a person.
Yes.
And like when you said the impact, I'm telling you, it was just ever since that moment.
Mm-hmm.
Since that moment, because I had a a bad moment, and we talked about it, and it was like let's grow on that part.
Yeah.
Grew on that part. Got better and got better. Next thing you know, I end up I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna stay in. I'm gonna do it.
Nice.
And now I'm at the point where it's like, I done promoted twice since that.
Wow.
Yeah, I promoted twice.
Wow.
And it's like, it's like positivity.
Oh yeah.
Now I'm going into, ready to go to my first deployment. Never been on deployment before. I'm excited, ready to see how it is. I always talked about it, and now I'm at this point, but I wouldn't be at this point without them.
Yes.
Having that impact on me to, okay, I can do this. You know what I'm saying? This ain't bad, you know what I'm saying? Just grow, and I had to shout out to them.
Oh yeah, no, for sure. I mean, like I said, leadership is a conversation or a topic I can talk about for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours, because I feel like for me, in the professional world, that has been my driving force to become a leader because of the bad leadership. Like I've been around a lot of, I'm not gonna say bad leaders, but leaders that needed to grow, that needed to look at themselves in the mirror and want to become the best version of themselves as a leader as they should be, because it was just naturally in me to become a leader and lead people, because I just love doing that. I love, seeing people become the best versions of themselves.
Yes.
However, I know that to become a great leader, you have to be around great leaders.
Yes.
So I was the person in the professional world thriving to be around great leaders, and I was around the opposite. So I learned all the bad traits of what not to do and how not to be a leader to shape me. I just have not been around too many of those leaders that could give me the good traits of what leadership is, because of, I don't know. Just the routes that I've been taking, I was a manager at Walmart. Like, it took me a year and a half to promote up to assistant manager at Walmart, which is now called a coach, but that's a Fortune 500 company. Like, it's not easy to move up in the ranks it's people that, again, I'm 22, 23, maybe 24-ish, running the store. And you have people that have been with the company 20 plus years looking at me crazy, like, who are you and how are you able to tell me what to do? And I'm just like, listen, like, I'm very confident in my abilities, and I was confident in my position and what I could do. I'm like, it's not about how long you've been with the company. That doesn't always matter, but are you built to lead? Are you ready to lead? Is that even what you want to do?
Exactly.
You've been here 20 years, but do you want to be in my position? Because if you did, apply and get it.
Yeah. And
I applied, and I got it. And that's it.
That came along, and I can definitely, they seen that. They seen that leadership in you.
Yeah.
And I can go on so much about it.
Listen, hey, look, I love it. I love it, man. And it's like what you pointed out some important, concepts as far as like feedback and, and using the word grow instead of you can do better at this or whatever. Like how you say something matters so much.
Yes.
And that's what I'm learning, even with coaching. Like I had to really, I think this is by far my most challenging season coaching, not just because it was a head coach, but just in general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I was going through a lot of my own stuff as far as like wanting to become a better version of myself and the best coach that I could be. So if I'm saying it, I'm doing it. You know what I'm saying? If I'm expecting it, I'm expecting it of myself as well.
Yeah.
So I was very transparent this whole season with, what I'm saying, how I'm speaking, attitude, tone, reactions. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm saying don't react, but then I'm reacting. But at the same time, I'm in a different position. Like I'm giving you lessons. However, me yelling as a coach is not a bad thing at all times.
Yeah, no.
If I'm talking down to you and using negativity and doing that, yes, that's not good. That's not what I'm saying as far as like you yelling and reacting as a player. What I'm saying is in the moments of a game when you when my tone goes from this, that's more of a passion and excitement in coaching. Not I'm yelling at you to get the point across. But at the same time, like at sometimes in the game, like if I gotta say, look, you need to get my tone is gonna change, my whole delivery is gonna change because you're not getting it. Hey, look, all right, y'all, we gotta get back on this. You're not hearing me. Y'all not doing it. So clearly that's not working. Look, if you don't get back on this, that's not what I'm saying. So you know what I'm saying? Like the teams today are very smart. So they was like, well, but you yell, you do. No, you're taking it out of context now. Now the context is different. The whole setting is a whole lot different. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, the feedback is important. Like even in the classroom, like giving the students feedback on work, on life. Like I did a great job on life skills and giving feedback on that concept. But as far as the content, I know myself I didn't do a good job giving them feedback in a timely manner or just in general because I don't know. My main goal was to make sure that they were better people and the best versions of themselves in the classroom, which helped me realize, like, look, what are you doing? And maybe it's time for a shift in what you're doing all the way around because, like, I've strived the whole 10 years of me being in the classroom of making sure that the students that are around me became the best versions of themselves.
Yes.
So my feedback always was about the attitude that they had, the lack of participation, the, you know what I'm saying, like if you're not participating now, like the habits that you're developing now translate into life. If you're not doing the work now, I mean, you may not be getting money. However, that coming to class late, the turning your work in late, those type of things are going to matter when you get into what you really want to be doing. Like you looking at it now as, oh, it ain't nothing. It's just school. What is that? But this stuff translates.
Yes, preparing you
it translates.
You for the big picture.
I don't have the negative aspect of translating because I've always performed in the classroom because it was a standard in my family to make sure you did the work, you made grades, you did this and did that, and I was not a person that liked to fail. So I achieved, and I didn't start failing until it started costing.
Know what that means?
I started failing in life when it came down to businesses and investing and doing things like that and making decisions where it's like, that's a $500 mistake.
Dang,
I'd rather get an F in high school and fail a class and have to go to summer school for 2 months than lose 1,000, lose 2,000 or whatever the case may be. However, when you learn from your failures, I mean, that's all it takes anyway. But I mean, like I said, leadership is important because you make an impact on the people that you're around. So if you're in a leadership position, just make sure that you're. Yeah, man, leadership is one of those amazing things that, like I said, I love, and that's life right there because the leaders that you're around, change the trajectory of where you're going on whether you want to be a leader, whether you want to work the job, whether you want to play the sport, whether you want to, do whatever it is that you're doing, go to the military, stay in the military, stay with whatever. So we got to, like I said, leaders got to step it up and breed more leaders. That's the whole purpose of being in that goal. Not necessarily coaching, because, I mean, not everybody's meant to be a coach, and everybody wants to coach. However, when you're on that job, leadership is inevitable. Like, it's going to be a leader on the job for sure, and you want to have more leaders. So, but
be a leader, be a leader.
Yes.
Guaranteed. There's no point, and there's nothing, crazy about it. If you're going to be a leader, be a leader. Be an effective leader.
That part. Very, very, very great words. So back to getting to the military, right? So you've been to high school, been to college, and the whole time through college you were in the military. And then you had a job out of that doing accounting to transition into the school and being in the classroom. Before we talk about that military piece, like how was that experience being in the classroom?
Oh, let me tell you something. And I was literally just telling my commander this the other day.
Uh-huh.
It's the best experience that I think I could have got. Like, I feel bad, this coming up to my, my last, couple of weeks, because I really want to, keep doing it. But it's like, I got to have that, that piece of me. Like, okay, let's keep on going.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You didn't came in this chapter. You didn't succeeded. You didn't learn from it. Let's see what's next. But, the classroom, oh, man. It's the best experience.
Yeah.
It's a humbling experience because you get to see things you never seen before.
Yes.
The impact that a teacher has. And for me, like you said, you was more into the business of life skills. And that's really all I was into. I teach them the content, but their life skills was more important to me.
Oh yeah.
Who are you going to be when you graduate?
Exactly.
What are you going to do when you graduate?
Exactly.
What are those skills that you're going to have when you graduate?
Exactly.
And that was, I was really harping on it. Like, that was my big thing. I can't wait to get back to doing my last 4 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
So I can jump on, and get things in before I leave. 'Cause I've been gone for a couple months. I got some time to make up. And it was the best, I'm telling you, best experience. And I think when I retire from the military, whenever I get out, I think I already told everybody they're going to have to put me out. I know I'm going to go over my 20, but they're going to have to put me out.
Nothing wrong with that, man. Nothing
but
wrong with that.
When I get done, I want to come back. I want to be a principal. I want to be a principal. And, that's really something I want.
Let's go.
Yeah, so we'll see how that go. But
Let's
best experience. I think everybody needs this type of experience.
Yes.
Whether you gonna sub, whether you gonna teach, just get into the school system. Just see how that experience is. Oh, it's amazing.
Oh yeah,
It's amazing. Oh, it's
wow.
amazing. Yeah.
That's amazing, man. I mean that the time that you spent in the classroom has impacted you so much while you were trying to impact others that it made you want to come back and just be even more powerful in the school, man. That's amazing. That's amazing.
Seeing students grow is the best joy ever. I'm telling you. It's nothing like it. I love it. Like, that's my bread and butter. I put them, doing some challenging things, like, for one, public speaking. Like,
yes.
They, students, some of them shy, some of them, they, get nervous sometimes, but, I put them through different scopes like that, just to see them.
Exactly.
Like, hey, it's adversity. It may be tough for you now, but you can do it.
Exactly.
As long as you put your mind to it, you can do it.
Exactly.
So, it's a good experience.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, man. I had a great time as well doing that. To, like you said, to see, like, we spend so much time with them.
Yep.
Like, it's 180 days calculated in the school year for most schools, right? And that's a long time. If you're on a year-long schedule, not a semester, and, whether it's an hour and a half or 55 minutes, that's a long time to be with the kids every single day, besides the weekends, the holidays. Like, that's a long time. So you see them at the beginning when nobody knows anybody to the end of the school year. Is so much growth in the relationship and the student and, the impact or the lack of impact that you can see. And you can see what you've been able to do. Yes. Like, if the students haven't grown, that means you haven't done anything. And if, they've grown and you've done your part, and just even in between all that, like, it may not be as much growth as wants to be seen, but it's been growth.
Yeah.
Like, growth has, in the business of school, is numbers and test scores.
Yep.
Right? And grades. However, growth for life and for the student is, they came in, they would not speak. They could not talk. They, they were shy. Now they're able to get up there and do a presentation confidently. Now they're able to speak in class confidently when they're talking to anybody. Yes. They may not made friends, but they're able to. They're not the same person that they started with. Maybe they were the student that were they were rowdy and all obnoxious, and now they're leaving out. Understanding that it's another way to do this. You know what I'm saying? Now I can be who I want to be, but not as obnoxious and crazy and outrageous. So, and I've been able to see that over the years of me teaching. I mean, there's you have those students that are already ready to go, and they they may have only taken one thing from this because they're that put together, but I learned one thing from you, and I'm fine with that as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're able to see so many different levels of things, but I think the most important thing that I learned in teaching, I got into it to want to make an impact on life, because I was able to see these different things. However, the business of it doesn't allow me to do what I really want to do in the classroom. And
guaranteed.
That's why I'm going ahead and making that transition. You know what I'm saying? A decision was made for me to transition. However, I'm going to take full advantage of that and impact in a different way. So that way, those students are still being, becoming better students. But outside of that, like, what are you after? Because that's what matters. You only spend 4 years in school, well, high school. Yeah. But your life is the plan is for you to be in life for 50, 60 years. Like, you spend 12 years of life in school, but you spend 50, 60 years in life. Guaranteed. And don't spend another 12 trying to figure out them life skills. Yeah. Some of us spend, if you're not given the right things at home, you spend 12 years trying to figure out those life skills that you should gain at some point in 12 years of being in school that's not being given, right?
And even more, I done seen it. And it's like, that's like, when you said, you came in to make an impact, that's a gift. You got a gift, and now that, your time's coming to an end, it's like it's making way for your gift. Yeah. It's pushing you more towards your gift. Because when you got a gift, no matter what it is, it's going to be for you.
Oh, yeah.
And, like I talked to you, we talked already about it. It's just the next chapter.
Yes.
The next chapter.
Sure.
One door closes, another one open up.
Oh, yeah.
I'm looking in the wrong direction, but I'm going to find that open door.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm going to come through there.
Oh, yeah. We coming,
That's
man.
Right.
We coming,
I bust through the door. I break it down, but,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's going to be real. It's going to be real. Both of us, next chapter's coming up, man. Both of us, next chapter's coming up. Yeah. So we started talking about the military, and, so let's do a summary of, how we got to enlisting and going to college, but, from there until now, I've been able to see the last 3 years of it, and for me in 3 years, seeing what it has done for you has been fast track. It's boom, Eric, I did this, boom, I made this accomplishment, boom, now I got another one coming up, man. I got another one. I'm like, yo, what the? I'm to the point where look, I'm out there enlist. Can I hey, let me work out with you? I even asked you that let me start working out with you so I can get down to this weight so I can go. I said, listen, I definitely need to, it's happening. It's all good to always hear great things and, that you're promoting and that, I'm leadership. We always talk about that leadership piece, to see you doing that in the military with, again, these are still students, right? They're soldiers, but they're still students because they're coming in fresh out of high school, not knowing what to do. Some of them forced to go because it's either you go in the military, you going not be alive, or you going to be in jail, or look, you might be under the bridge and homeless type deal. That's how serious it is for some people. So, and then some of them just know, but they still need that guidance. I know I'm coming to the military. I just don't know what I'm going to be doing. So you being in a leadership role is going to be amazing for all the soldiers coming up under you. And, especially if it's life or death, I already know that things are going to work out for the best, during deployment. Hopefully it's a safe deployment. However, who knows? Anything can happen, right? Yep. So what has that look like from, like I said, from the time you graduated college and, did the accounting job, started teaching. Actually, let's start from teaching until now. What's transpired in the military for you?
So I'd say about a year after my first year of teaching, that's when I re-signed my next contract. Mm-hmm. And from then, because I told you, it was a humbling transition, for one, because I didn't see myself, going into the school system. I didn't see it. So when I'm going, when you transition and you learning so much about yourself. Yes. And during that time, I was just, that's when my commander came in, the commander I was talking about earlier, and he was just putting me in so many different leadership positions because he's seen it. Yeah. He's seen, the type of dude that I am, the morale I can have, the effect I can have, and from then it was just, hey, let's go to this school. You know what I'm saying? Okay, well, you in this requirement window. Okay, well, you have a promotion. Okay, let's go to this promotion course. And it's just been a trickling effect. Then last summer, I got promoted to being Platoon Sergeant. I was already a squad leader. Mm-hmm. So when you're a squad leader, that means you over just a certain squad in a platoon. That can range from 5 people to 20-some people. Mm-hmm. So then last year, I got promoted to Platoon Sergeant. So when you're Platoon Sergeant, that means you over, 2 to 4 squads. Okay. And you over the whole platoon. So that whole platoon is mine. and you want to talk about leadership shift, that was a big leadership position because now I'm not over just a certain amount of people. I'm over the whole platoon. So now I got to make sure that my squad leaders are being great leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And if it reflects, it just shifts.
Yes.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
So that experience, it's been amazing.
That's crazy.
I'm telling you, it's been amazing. It's been amazing. And I'm just, like I said, I'm excited for the deployment because like now it's like it's gonna be my first deployment for one, and it's like I'm in this position, but I think it's going really well. Like, like I talk to my soldiers, I try to check. We have a check-in. We call it counseling.
Mm-hmm.
We have a check-in every month. I want to see, hey, what's going on? Everything good? And you're like, okay, well, what you accomplished this month? What's your plans? What's your goals? You know what I'm saying? It's just simple things like that.
Yeah.
That I take pride in. I have gratitude for that. And it's just, like I said, it's been an amazing experience.
Oh, yeah. So this recent graduation you had, what was that? What was that for?
So that was for one, it was for my joint airloading planning.
Okay.
I'll be doing over cross seas. I'll be working with the Air Force. And then my second one was for my promotion to staff sergeant.
Nice.
So I'm a sergeant now. Now I'm going to a staff sergeant. And, we'll see.
Nice. So you said platoon to staff sergeant. Is that the same position or that's bigger than?
So platoon, that's just a position.
Okay.
Now the staff sergeant, that's the rank.
So
you get your ranks. So I was always working in a position above my rank.
Okay.
Always, and that's what made me come into a better person because it's like when you get put in those positions without having the requirements or you kind of get molded.
Yeah, for sure.
You get better and better and better, and that's really what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's what's up, man.
It's
So we are staff sergeant now, and you're ready to be deployed. And you said that those leadership skills that you've been obtaining, you've been able to now go from doing it with a small group to a larger group with multiple groups, which means that you have certain leaders under you, that you are with rank, right? So your leadership goes into those select leaders over those groups that goes into the soldiers.
Yes.
Wow. How's that working? How's it looking?
It's going good. I'm got a couple of them though, but it's all about, for me, it's about that growth piece.
Yes.
That's all I'm into. And if I can promote good leaders to lead good soldiers,
yes,
then we're in the right business.
Oh,
Everything's going to be amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Morale going to be high. It's not going to be so many words. And it's like, that's all I'm in the business for.
Oh, yeah.
I know I was in the same position, and I wanted that. I wanted, somebody, okay, show me what I'm doing wrong. Give me some feedback.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
if I am doing good, okay.
Yes.
And that's what it's really all about. You got to have that trickling effect. You got to have that positive. When you build positive, everything is just fluid.
Oh, yeah.
It flows. So,
oh, yeah, man. That's crazy.
I love it.
You mentioned something really important that you said you did that I didn't realize I was doing as well, but I feel like it's great advice for anybody that wants to get promoted or move up, whether you're already in leadership or you want to get into it, is you have to work as if you already have that position. You said I was always working a rank above what I was.
Yep.
So if I'm currently, not a principal or assistant principal at a school, if I'm in the classroom, then I need to be acting as if I am an assistant principal all the time.
Yep.
Now, my colleagues are going to like it. They're not. However, what do you want?
Exactly.
And a great leader is not always liked all the time, but they're doing the right things. It's always about whether you're doing the right or wrong things. If you're doing the right things all the time, then once you get in that leadership role, you'll be respected regardless because they know that you're doing the right thing.
Guaranteed.
You know what I'm saying? Are you going to be liked amongst your peers? Probably not because, mindset is different. You know what I'm saying? Like your mindset, if you want to be a leader, your mindset is going to be different than the masses because leaders are not common. The leaders are the minimal in the groups of the masses. Like they're going to stand out. So you have to be doing more than what you're paid for. Like a lot of people don't understand that on the job. You want to wait to get the promotion and get the pay before you start doing a position.
Like, and that always bothered me. It's like, if you expect more of yourself, then you got to go above it.
Exactly.
You got to, be in that, that position or that role where it's like, okay, well, I know I can handle it.
Yes.
I know it'll come soon. But I know if I'm doing everything in my box, it's going to come soon.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And I like how you said that, people, how you expect to be in a certain type of position, but you ain't putting in the work ethic.
Exactly.
And of course, people ain't gonna like you. And hey, let me tell you something about me. I don't have no problem with it. It don't bother me.
Yeah.
Cause it's like, okay, you don't like me. Okay, what are you doing for me?
Yeah, that part.
I'm doing something for myself. And that's what I'm going to do because it's my life. You have no control over my life. And that's just what it is. You don't like me? Okay, so what?
Exactly. It's not about being liked. I mean, you don't like me, but am I doing the right thing for you? And is my job not affecting your job in a bad way? And if I'm doing my job and you don't like me, but you're still getting paid, you still have a job, you're still getting everything that you're supposed to get, that's all that matters. Like, it's not about being liked. You know what I'm saying? It's about, like you said, impact. Like, not liking somebody does not mean it's not bad. It's going to, like, I might not like the supervisor I had, but they might have been, they did. I look back on it, so when I was at Walmart, there's one particular, manager that was above me. I really didn't, you know what I'm saying? I didn't, it was different. It wasn't like it wasn't always positive. I knew every time she came around and say something, it was going to be, I could never do enough to get, say I wanted to hear I did well, I did good. I never heard that from her. However, she recently passed. She passed. However, prior to that happening, like once I left Walmart, and I think I saw her again, and I don't know, her health was declining or something like that, but she let me know that I did a great job and I was doing well. She just always wanted to make sure I continued to do well. So that's why her feedback was of that nature versus, you're doing a good job, keep it up, versus, no, you know what I'm saying? There was always a critique type of feedback versus a good, you're doing a good. So, and I didn't realize it at the time because, I was, fairly young in a company where it was a lot expected. However, looking back on that now and then when she told me, I'm like, I understood and it made sense. And I respected her for that. Like, I always had respect for her anyway because I knew the type of manager that she was. Like, when you know the type of manager somebody is, whether you like them or not, doesn't matter. Like, did I always want to work when I knew she was over me? Like, nah. But I knew what to expect. So when you know what to expect, it makes it that much easier to go to work whether you like them or not. So it's not about being liked. It's about, are you being an effective leader? And again, the impact she had on me, like, I knew what to expect when I got to work. I knew what needed to be done. I knew what I had to do when she was over and when she was working during that time. It was nothing else. Even the store manager that I had when I first got promoted, same concept. He was in the military. I think he was in the Marines, right? So, he expected things. Like, we were walking around. It was so tedious, like, going up. I'm like, yo, I did a bang-up job one, and I'm like, oh, yeah, he going to be good to go. We walk up out of here, I'm going to get the best walk that I've had since I've been doing this right now. Like, I just knew we did a great job. He was like, oh, no, see, when y'all have nights like this, you want to lift up under here, and you want to clean that, and then you want to have them lift this stuff up right here, and, get this gum scraper, and you see this spot right here, you want to, and I was just like, wow. Like, I wasn't even upset. I wasn't even mad because, again, when you're in a leadership position and you strive to be the best leader you can be and you want to continue to move up and become a better leader, I was walking, I'm listening, on the inside, I'm like, just going down, like, bro.
I thought I did the best job ever,
I heard one, like, okay, this is good. But most of it was like, yeah, when you get to this point, now you want to do this. Now you want to do, you know what I'm saying? Like, he didn't say it was good, but as you're saying now, and once you do this, then you want to do that, then I know I'm on the right track. Like, to hear and be able to translate what he's saying, to hear that I was actually doing pretty decent, I'm like, okay, he didn't say it, but I heard it through what he was saying.
That's right. And that's what, like you said, effective leaders.
Yes.
That's what they supposed they supposed to put you in that direction, give you that guidance to be better.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, you did this. You did it good. Okay, well, let's take it to the next level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Let's be great. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it was.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely, man. Most definitely, y'all. Wow. Yeah. Wow. Man, this is crazy, man. I can't believe we come to a close in one chapter and moving on to the next major chapters. And it's wild, man. So throughout all this stuff that's, transpired for you in your life, like, you had a major moment right now. What was like a major setback you might have had?
Major setback.
Or maybe like, what was the biggest lesson you've learned thus far, like from something that went wrong, didn't go right? Maybe it was a setback, something like that. But like, what?
Accepting change. Accepting change is one of the most hardest things, I think, as a growing individual. Because you'll get so comfortable.
Yes.
But then when that change comes, it's like, oh, but I was good doing this. You know what I'm saying? I was comfortable doing this. But in life, you're going to go through so many changes.
Yeah.
You're going to be put in so many different changes. And it's like, okay, well, let me accept this. And let's go ahead and start the trickle effect again.
Yep.
Let me get comfortable in it. So that was really like a staple moment in my life. And here we go again. I'm coming up to another big moment in my life where it's like, it's going to be a big old change. Never did it. First time ever doing it. You know, it's like, it's a big old change.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like, I'm not gonna dwell on it. You know, I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna figure it out.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what life is all about. It's about changes. Everything stays consistent in life, just like time. Time moves on every single day, just like changes. It's what it is.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I say I adapt well. However, some changes really affect me, and I'm like, oh, all right, okay, like okay. Because adaptability in the professional world is everything. Like, I mean, just in life, being able to be adaptable is a skill. Like, not everybody can handle, because some people, like, change can cause, like, major, like, emotional, like, you know what I'm saying? So I feel like that it doesn't do that for me. I'm adaptable. However, like, some changes in life, you feel them things. You like, listen, all right, okay.
Ease up now.
Hold on.
You know, slow down. You know,
like, I was prepared for this, but not right now.
Yeah. Like, I wasn't prepared for it then, you know what I'm saying? But
yes.
You're exactly right. And I think this is why I always tell, you know, my students, you know what I'm saying? That's why I can't wait to get back to them. Like, good quotes, you know. But one thing about life, you would think it's fair, but in so many different ways, it's unfair. But the thing about it is, you your own self.
Yes.
Change is going to happen whether you like it or you don't. And in those moments, be appreciative, be grateful for it, because it's like, okay, well, I got the opportunity to do something, you know, I never done before.
Yes.
And it's like, okay, well, let me be flexible. Let me go ahead and just get it out. You know, I can get the best from this. You know, so yeah, just change that change. I'm telling you, it's
Oh yeah,
very humbling experience.
Change is always gonna happen, man. But you gotta go with it. Gotta go with it.
You learn from it though. You know, the toughest lessons in life always prepares you and humbles you, and you know, give you another great skill that you didn't have before.
Yes.
You know, so yeah.
Oh yeah. So mindset wise, what did that look like for you? Hold on, I'm sorry. Headphones. About to tear it up. About to have to do this whole thing. You know what to do. Just get a little couple footages, you know. That's fine. So everything that you've been able to accomplish and do, even just being in the military, like in general, but like life. I mean, like I said, being able to do both life and military at the same time has to be a challenge in itself. But like through a lot of stuff that you've been like just dealing with that. Like I think you said 9 years, so 9 years of life in military. What was the mindset? Like what was your mindset?
At first, it was like, well, I'm gonna do it until my contract ends. You know. Then that moment happened in my life. Then it went from, okay, the mindset is, okay, I'm in this now. Love what you do. Yeah, you're going to go through some very difficult times, challenging times, but guess what? At the end of the day, they got in. And as long as you just making some type of progress, you in the right direction. And that was always like my big thing for me. Like, it's two words that I always go by every day: consistency and discipline.
Yes.
I know for a fact, if I can apply those two things every day of my life, whether it's, you know, working out, whether it's, you know, just reaching out to a friend, you know, just talking to him, you know, or her, you know, and just, you know, having those, you know, those type of conversations, giving that knowledge out, being positive, I know it's going to end up, you know, keep on stacking. And that's really all you want. You want to keep on just stacking. Because at the end of the day, it's going to get real good, you know. So, yeah, the mindset, it has changed a lot. You know, but one thing that I always know, I got to keep one foot right in front of the other. and just keep on going, because if you get stuck, you'll be down on yourself.
Oh, yeah.
You can't never do that. You got to just put one foot right in front of the other and just keep on going, just like time do.
Oh, yeah.
So,
For sure.
Got to have that strong mindset.
Definitely got to have a strong mindset, man. Like, mindset is everything. I think I've known from the beginning that mindset is everything. Like, you have to, like, you got to believe in yourself. You got to know you can do it. You got to have that confidence, like, yeah, like, I'm the best. Even if you're not yet. If you already had a mindset, when you become the best, you're like, all right, I knew it already.
Yeah, all right.
But you're going to strive to become the best because your mindset is I'm the best. Not, I don't know if I can do this or not. No, mindset is everything, because it starts there. It starts from within. Your mindset is internal. So you have the internal willpower in order for everything to show on the external and to be in that whatever it is that you want. To operate in your gift, you have to know that, oh, I am that. And I am that. You know what I'm saying? Like, when you're in a couple, I be like, I already know. Like, when it comes to coaching, like, I am that coach. What I'm saying? I know the game. Now, reflecting on my history of the game, like, I mean, I'm a student of the game all the time. I'm always striving to learn and learn from other coaches and just get everything I can get all the time. Even now to this day, I'm still asking questions after my games. I'm getting with Bodine. Hey, look, you came to the game. What did you see? What could I have done better? I'm getting with people and asking, because I'm like, in order to become the best, you have to know, you got to get some kind of feedback. I can't just already know it. I'm watching my film as well as asking questions from different people and different perspectives that I trust, that I know are good at what they do. So I'm like, yo, what could we have done better, or how can I improve, or what did I mess up? What did I do wrong, or if I did something wrong, like how can so I've done that throughout this whole time of me coaching, and I really take this thing serious, man. I really take it serious.
And like you said, and that's a big thing for you, and like I really want to show appreciation to that. Like, most coaches don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
They don't ask for that type of feedback.
Yeah.
Okay, what am I doing wrong, or what can I get better at?
Yeah.
Because it's like you're getting critiqued, but it's like you're not taking it as negative. You're taking it as, okay, so let me grow in this area.
Exactly.
And that's really all you want to do.
Yep.
So that's amazing.
Yeah, for
that's
sure. I mean, some people, you got to do that in life too. What happens in life? What? What do you mean? Oh, we'll go ahead and restart it now then. Is it saying car full or anything? Or it's good? It's good? It's recording? All right. Like, one of the things that, in life, a lot of people don't like to hear is what you can work on or how you can grow. It's like, you already think you're just like the best person there is. It's like, no, we all have areas to grow. And if you want to become the best version of yourself, you have to be able to accept that feedback, that criticism, constructive criticism. I mean, even sometimes if somebody doesn't have the experience to communicate that to you in the tone they should, hear what they said, not how they said it.
Exactly.
Now, communication is more of how you said it than what you said. However, when you're in the space of growing and becoming the best version of yourself, when you're listening to people talk to you and they're giving feedback, not everybody's working on that. Not everybody's trying to become the best version of themselves, but what they're saying may not true. It may be very much truthful. However, they don't know how to deliver it, and they're not in the business of trying to care how to deliver it. They just give you some important information right now with this content they have with you in your life, and you need to hear what they said. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Not how they said it, because how they said it is going to determine how you interpret it. Yes, like, we all, like, if you yelling at me, I'm not hearing nothing. I don't want to hear nothing you got to say. But if you're trying to become the best version of yourself, depending on who that person is that's saying it to you, or maybe it doesn't have to do, it don't even matter, none of that. Like, they yelling, I don't want to hear it. However, let me hear what they're saying. Let me be the bigger person. I'm going to listen to what's being said, and then I'm going to reflect after that. By reflecting on what they said. They were yelling. They were talking all crazy to me, like, who they think they are. But they did say that you could do a better job at so-and-so. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing wrong with that. But, I mean, again, like I said, in life, a lot of people don't like to hear what they could do better on, or how you can improve, or, you could have did that better. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the person's always giving you that type of energy, I mean, take it for what it is if it's somebody that's important to you in your life. Yep. However, if, you know what I'm saying, like, look, I don't care. Like, feedback is feedback.
Yeah, it's feedback, and it really shows, and it may not show it then, but like you said, like with your former assistant manager. Store manager, how you didn't see it then because you was growing, and then how, you seen it in the later tense.
Yeah, oh yeah.
And, and it's really all about, how you view things, how you perceive things. Because most of the time, if they telling you that, and 9 times out of 10, they want to see you grow.
Yes.
They want to see it. You know what I'm saying? So once you do that, it's like, okay. Yeah. I accept it. I understand it. And that's really like the main focal point of, when you talk about communicating, like, do you understand what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? So that's why I really like when you hit on that point. That was really good.
Yeah, man. That's look, we've been in this thing, and we know in our positions and what we've been doing lately for the last, few years, that communication is key. Like, leadership is important, and they both impacted and affected us in different ways. When we try to do that, like, a lot of people know if you come to my classroom, it's going to be like a cool, chill, calm environment, because that's me and that's my personality. So if I'm going to have to be in this space all this time every day, then I want it to be that same way.
That's right.
And I'm going to demand and respect. So the difference in demand and respect and being disrespectful. I demand respect in my room, which means, hey, listen, we're going to come in here. This is how things are going to go. This is how things are. I'm going to respect you. You're going to respect me. These are the rules. This is what we're going to stay in between. This is not accepted. You know what I'm saying? I give my non-negotiables because that's setting the standard for the room. I am that leader in the room.
Yep.
This is my space, and I am that person that's going to provide that space for you, for everybody to be comfortable, not just me.
Yes.
But y'all only here temporarily. I'm in here all day. So at the end of the day, listen, we're going to be respectful. We're going to be cool, chill, calm, collected. We're going to learn. We're going to have, it's going to be the environment that you want to be comfortable in for the amount of time we had to be in here. And that's really important, because after that, now that, you don't have to feel like you have to be, protecting yourself or doing all that kind of stuff, that you're going to be comfortable and all that, then now you're able to open up your mind and you're able to receive the information that's being given, whether it's a life lesson for the day, whether it's the content for the day, whether it's, just a moment to take and breathe from whatever's going on at home, because as teachers, we got to deal with all that. We probably got to deliver content, make sure you're learning some life skills, and then also, like, take into consideration what happened at home.
Yes.
Which, that's a tough space in 55 minutes with 20 plus kids all at one time. It's a lot.
Really a lot.
It's a lot. So you have to be strong mentally to be able to handle all that and keep the composure and the structure in classroom.
And I'm telling you right now, I'm glad you hit on that point, because that was another one of those humbling experiences that I got. It really helped me with my mental. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm like, my military side to come out sometimes. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
But then I'd be like, well, we'll talk. And then it was like, oh, well, I didn't understand that. I didn't understand, and it's about that mental agility and, understanding from all aspects.
Yeah.
Having that empathy, So,
man, you're right. Now, see, I hear both in the personal world and professional world. I don't really think I've heard it in the professional world, but personally, I hear, like, empathy and compassion with myself, because, like, I'm just, like, straightforward, transparent. I like to, So, I feel like I have the empathy and the compassion, because I listen, I care, and I'm not speaking in a tone that's negative, and I'm only giving feedback after I've listened to you. You know what I'm saying? You let me know what your issues are, your problems, and you came to me for advice. So my feedback is, all right, well, the next steps are this, or this is what you should do. If I were you, I would. Those are the type of things that are here. But, I feel like the empathy is listening. It's not necessarily always having to be a hug or all, You have to use words like that. Empathy is like, I'm listening to you. I'm sitting here. This is my whole lunch break that I don't normally get, When I'm sitting right here for my 25 minutes, I'm going to listen to you and make sure that you're good and you're calm and cool and collected. Yes. Or, I'm supposed to be going to go check my mailbox real quick. Well, I got this 5-10 minutes, but instead, you want to talk, just say, hey, how you doing? Just talking. And those are the things that, as teachers that we do that a lot of people don't really see, that when we're missing those breaks and that time is really important for us. We're still human.
Yeah.
So to have a minute to regroup throughout the day is really important. So when you don't necessarily get it and it's a consistently not happening, then it could do something. However, like, when you really care about the students and your job and what you're doing, that, sometimes I just not get it. You know what I'm saying? I just have to eat later. I eat on the go. And I'll take what it comes with that. If you come in my classroom and I'm chewing on that sandwich that I didn't get to eat at lunch because you didn't see the student that was so mad they were about to go to the cafeteria and fight.
Yep.
Like, I'm not going to refer them to you. I have the relationship with rapport with them, so I'm going to listen to them. I'm going to talk to them. Everything is good. Am I going to relay the information if I know that it wasn't handled then to you to let you know, so that way you can be prepared next period or whatever? Yeah. Yes. However, if I know they've gotten calmed down, they just needed somebody to listen to them. They just needed to calm down and just feel like they were heard, understood, blah, 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 blah. Then that's fine. So when you come 2 periods later, I couldn't eat my lunch, and I'm eating my lunch in the process of things happening and still productivity happening, it shouldn't be a problem that I'm eating my food, especially if they had lunch. Now, I know they say, don't eat in front of students they didn't eat, but I know they ate lunch. Now, whether they chose to eat or not, that's neither here nor there. I had my lunch. They had the opportunity to eat lunch.
That's right.
Now, both of us can't be hungry and hangry at the same time. So
Right.
let me.
You already know.
Man, like, come on, y'all. Like, let's keep this thing rolling. But I mean, like I said, this, being there for the students. People in general, like even at work, when I was at Walmart doing the job. I mean, I worked at Kings Dominion amusement park. That was my favorite job working there, and I did it during college. And again, every job that I've gotten, my goal was to promote to the highest management possible, because I learned early on that I didn't like people telling me what to do. Not in a bad way, but I wanted to be the one giving, the directions, and also leading and making an impact. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't about me not liking being told what to do, but I want to be able to tell people what to do, and also like give more than just that. Like, hey, look, this is what I need you to do. However, like, you know what I'm saying, let's do this. Let's talk to like this. Let's build customer service. Let's build communication skills. That's what I want to do while I was doing that. It wasn't that I didn't like being told what to do. Like, that really got up under my skin, because I'm like, I always felt like I could do it better, honestly. So I'm like, well, let me go ahead and promote on up.
That's the leadership and that gift we talked about earlier. You seeing that, you like, okay, well, because some leaders, that's what they'll do. All they want to do is bark, bark, bark.
Yep.
But you can't always do that.
Yep.
Because when you're doing all of that, all you're doing is knocking somebody down.
Exactly.
Let's not do, as a leader, you don't want to knock somebody down. You want to build them up.
Yes.
You want to build them up so high that they can just fly.
Exactly.
That's really how you want to do it. And, it's like you said, like just talking. Like, that's like the main thing, whether it's, good or bad, the communication, the feedback, it's everything goes into jeopardy. Like, one of my soldiers, she was going through a very difficult time. I didn't know. She never did talk about it. She was going through a difficult time, and when it reached to a climax during that time of hers, it was, she had, missed out, coming in, and we did a house call. And when we sat there and did that house call, me and my squad leader went over there. And the first thing she did was so much like she was just crying, And I'm like, okay, so it's something much deeper than that.
Yeah.
And that's what leadership all is about. Like, the empathy. Like, that's why I'm so big on empathy, because you never know what somebody's going through.
For sure.
And
for sure.
Whatever they're going through, it has an impact. Whether it's big or small, it's going to have that impact, because they human beings just like everybody else. If something isn't right, they're not going to be right.
Yeah.
And as a leader, you want to make sure that your, subordinate, whatever, is good in all those boxes.
Yes.
Whether they're telling you about it, just ask. All you got to do is, ask a couple questions. That's one thing I learned. And if I just ask.
Yes.
Yes. Because it'll slowly come out, and you'll see the scope, and you'll realize the negatives, and the positives, but just communication.
Oh, yeah.
Good communication.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I couldn't agree more. That's the same thing I do. Like I said, I know that for me in leadership, the empathy part probably needs to be improved upon. I need to still grow. However, I do ask those questions like you said. However, if you're not empathetically asking the questions, you may not get the response that you need. So I feel like if I work on the empathy part of my leadership skills when I'm asking those questions, because I do care and I'm concerned, but if it's not relayed that way when I'm asking questions and talking, then I may not get the answer that I'm trying to get. So that's why I know, like I said, I'm always seeking to grow and become the best version of myself or whatever position I'm in. And when you're speaking on empathy, I'm like, yeah, I might need to work. Not even I need to work on that aspect of my leadership skills a whole lot more. And I may see, better results when I'm leading people in their progress. So I'm definitely going to work on that.
Accountability. That's the first step right there.
Sure.
You saying that you already need to do it. It was going to happen. It's going to happen. Whether you even realize it or not, it's going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Definitely, man. Man, it's been real, man. This has been great. This has been great. Yes. Long time coming. I'm very transparent. So we did this thing probably about a year and a half ago, more, maybe even 2 years ago. I had to sit down and have a talk with him. But as a lot of people know, I'm doing a relaunch of my podcast, and now I'm just, I had to sit down again and do it again the second time, and I feel like this is better, than the first go around. Not that anything was wrong with the interview, but for me and the space that I was in mentally, and then just the growth, Like I said, the growth. I quite a few interviews. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I never gave up though. So I mean, if you're doing a podcast, never give up. Posting stuff regardless.
Yes.
Do your thing regardless. But I mean, it shows the relationships that you build with people and the authenticity that you have. That he was able to come back and do this again and wanted to come back and do it again because of the relationship that we do have and the transparency that I have with talking. Like, it's just, you know, even when I do them, I always let you know, like, hey, look, this is what we're doing. That's why I'm doing it. But anyway, this one's going to be put out. Y'all are going to see this thing. And it's going to be up from here, man. What do you want to leave the people with, though?
I want to leave them with something positive. I think something that everybody should hear in life. Whatever you're going through in life, whatever challenges you face, one, have positivity and peace about the situation. For two, be patient with yourself because nothing is going to just happen with a snap of a fingers. So be patient. And three, keep going. Keep working. Keep trying to be the best version of yourself because at the end of the day, they got to end. But if you're doing what you got to do on your part, the other side is going to happen. Whether it's in months, years, whatever, it's going to happen. So just keep working, keep growing, keep moving, and lastly, keep learning.
Oh, yeah. Definitely got to keep learning. Way to end that thing, man. Where can we find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram, Captain434. That's really about it. I don't be on Twitter like that. Facebook, Tony White. You'll see me on there. Other than that, that's where you can find me at.
Oh, yeah. Tap in, man. Tap into my guy's journey, man. You're ready to go to deployment. Some amazing things. Real cool, down-to-earth guy, stand-up guy. And, yeah, man, like I said, it's been amazing. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
And, hey, Stats Global Podcast, man. We in full effect. Check us out on Instagram at Stats Global Podcast, Facebook, Stats Global Podcast, any platform you want to find us on Stats Global Podcast.
Shout out Stats.
Oh, yeah. Until next time, we out.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I like that.